Dear friends, family, and kind strangers, it is taking everything in me to hit publish on this. Me, the guy who once orchestrated the magic behind the curtains with my stage production company, rigging lights to paint dreams across theaters and pulling crowds into worlds of wonder with beams that never faltered. That was my life. Outgoing, alive, the social butterfly everyone called for the next big lighting gig or event setup. I thrived in the glow of the work, connecting with performers and audiences alike. My grin lighting up the control booth as much as the stage itself. But if you knew me now, you would see a man who has learned to fade into the background, lips pressed tight over a smile that has become a stranger to my own mirror. It started with something so ordinary, a minor motorcycle fender bender in September 2021. What followed was anything but. A sneaky infection in my foot exploded into sepsis, landing me in the hospital for 6 grueling weeks, much of it in ICU, tubes snaking everywhere as I fought just to see another dawn. The doctors tried 4 times to save my right foot, but in the end I chose amputation to reclaim some shot at normalcy. I healed, got fitted for a prosthetic, and was relearning my stride, when the same MRSA staph monster crept into my left foot. Round 2. More surgery, more pain, more isolation, double amputee at 43. My body, once a vessel for late-night setups and creative sparks, felt like borrowed time. But the real thief? That infection did not stop at my legs. It sank its teeth into my gums. While I was laid up, pumped full of antibiotics and too weak to fight back, my teeth started betraying me. Healthy ones, roots and all, loosened and dropped out like autumn leaves. The rest turned brittle, snapping under the slightest pressure, rotting from the inside. Today, at 47, I am left with a scattering of broken molars, sensitive ghosts that throb with every sip of coffee or bite of bread. Soft foods only, if I'm lucky. Anything chewier sends me wincing. My speech slurs, words tumbling fuzzy and unclear, like I'm mumbling secrets I never meant to share. And smiling? God, it has been years. No wide, joyful beam for photos, no carefree laughs that light up a room, especially not with my teenage daughter, the absolute spark of my world. She has got this radiant grin that could melt glaciers, full of teenage fire and dreams, but our pictures? Mine is always that tight-lipped half-grin, hiding the mess. It breaks my heart. She deserves a dad who matches her energy, who can ham it up for selfies without a shadow of shame crossing his face. This is not just about teeth, it is the quiet erosion of everything I held dear. Confidence, shattered. I used to thrive in crowds, networking at classy dinners, owning every conversation about the perfect light cue. Now invites trickle to nothing. People glance away, whispering assumptions, maybe drugs, maybe laziness. When they see the prosthetics and the guarded mouth, respect fades. I am not taken seriously in meetings or chats. I have watched dear friends slip away, uncomfortable with the embarrassment of being seen with me in public. My phone sits silent. Gatherings feel like distant memories. I have turned inward, a homebody by force, not choice. Nights alone with takeout mush and reruns. Passions like lighting design and theater worlds gathering dust. At my age, isolation like this? It is a slow fade, stealing the joy I fought so hard to keep after the amputations. Yet, here is the flicker of hope that has kept me going. I have beaten the odds before. Prosthetics on, I am walking freely again. Healthier and more resilient than in years. This oral nightmare, it is the final hurdle, the one chain I cannot snap alone. Medicaid covers basics, but those cheap dentures? Stories abound of sores, poor fits, infections brewing in gums like mine, already scarred by MRSA. I cannot risk it. Not when I have come this far. What I need are premium pop-in dentures. Semi-permanent natural-looking ones that snap securely, letting me chew steak, speak clearly, and yes, flash that long-lost smile without apology. Let's break down and analyze the costs. $2,000 to $3,000 for full extractions and gum prep to ensure a clean, infection-free base. Extractions are usually billed by the tooth and can be considered simple or complex depending on the condition and situation of the teeth and surrounding bone. The cost has the potential to increase based on the condition of things at the time of the procedure. $7,000 to $8,000 for the custom upper and lower premium set of high-quality dentures. Crafted for comfort, durability, and overall utility. No shortcuts. These will be created out of high-quality materials, which will allow for a confident and natural-looking smile, clear and understandable speech, greatly improved gum and jawbone health and the ability to maintain a healthy diet, not to mention the relief from constant pain and discomfort currently being experienced every day. $1,000 to $2,000 would cover the follow-ups and appointments. These are often needed to get the fit and implementation perfect. This is the last piece of the puzzle and will ensure that I don't find myself dealing with a future health crisis and risk of infection or injury. Total, $10,000 to $12,000. Of course, I'll do my part and continue to seek alternate funding options through grants and other resources I might come across. I'm not simply sitting with my hand out. I will continue to work as many gigs as I can book in order to contribute as much as I possibly can for myself, by myself. It is a lot, I understand that. This isn't easy for me to do. I am cheeks burning just typing it all out. But imagine the shift upwards. Meals with my daughter that are not limited to soup, open-mouthed laughs at her jokes, rebuilding that social circle one genuine conversation at a time. I would step back into the world, maybe even channel this into advocacy for amputees here in Arkansas, sharing stories, lifting others, turning scars into strength, for her future photos, for my reclaimed spark. It is everything. The drive and passion that for years served me and those around me so well could finally return. This experience has forced me to be vulnerable to a world of strangers. I'm baring my soul, not simply my teeth. I believe there are times in our lives when putting faith in the general goodness of people becomes the last remaining bridge to the future. No assistance is too small. $5 covers a follow-up call, $50 a material sample, $100 a step toward that first real bite. It really does take a village. One shared post, one quiet donation, to rebuild a life. From the depths of my gratitude, thank you for pausing here, for seeing me. You have already cracked the door to hope wide. If this stirs something, please consider chipping in or passing it along. Let us turn this page together.